Welcome to MMO Grinder Sidequest, where we take a look at early open or closed betas, subscription trials, and simpler titles, giving you a quick first impression. Today we will be looking at the pleasantly titled Black Death, an MMO set in the medieval period ravaged by the Black Plague and tasks you with surviving its deadly onslaught. Dreskar has been toiling away at this early access title to give us his thoughts on its progress, while I narrate this because y'all can't stand how his voice sounds. The game itself won't be winning any awards for its looks, but they certainly do the job, and with a recent update you'll find that the animation quality is decent and has been improving steadily. There are still multiple aspects that could be fixed, but we will talk about that a little later. Sound design is a bit hit and miss. Some of it sounds rather disturbingly accurate. Ah, yes, delicious. While other aspects of the sound design leave a lot to be desired, and will hopefully be ironed out soon. Gameplay-wise, you wouldn't be wrong in thinking of it as a traditional survival game. However, the aspect of surviving during the worst plague in human history can get complicated. You have your standard food and drink meters, but they aren't just to keep you alive, rather they're used to keep your body healthy. Even if you catch part of the plague, you'll generally survive if you remain otherwise healthy, but other aspects will affect your health in turn. Players and NPCs can transmit the plague between each other, so if you see a town filled with coughing and heaving NPCs, you'll notice your wellness meter depleting when you're near them. You'll often have to risk going to these NPCs at first, but can eventually become self-sufficient enough to live on your own in the wilderness. Yet one of the key aspects of the game isn't just having the Grim Reaper over your head the whole time. As a player, you can choose to try and find a cure or vaccine for the plague, which requires leveling the Plague Doctor profession. While you can technically level up by doing anything, the easiest way to gain levels is to perform physical examinations of corpses, both animals and human, that have signs of the plague in them. We also want to give a massive warning here. If that lovely sound effect earlier bothered you at all, and you're that squeamish, you should look away right about now. See, dissecting animals is rather simple and straightforward, but when you get to human corpses, the game decides to showcase the procedure in all its gory horror. You will slice open the body, which actually cuts open the model, crack the ribcage to pull it apart, remove various organs, and yeah, it's all a bit grim. However, as this gives you massive bonuses to your experience, at the same time you have a ticking clock while you're poking around a plague-ridden corpse. That plague is trying to jump into your body, and woe be to you if that happens. The game will warn you to keep your wellness up, which will start to drop like a rock when you get sick, and is very lethal if you don't have a good supply of food and clean water around. So why are we even looking at something that's so clearly in early access? Well, much of it comes down to the concept being interesting and not often seen in the genre. Much like the weather in the Division's survival mode actually affecting the gameplay, this plague mechanic adds another layer to things. The second major reason is the developers have consistently put out updates to the game, some of them rather meaty, like the most recent that changed how resources spawn and how NPCs act. Thus why things have been steadily improving during its time in early access. While time will tell if this goes anywhere, it is at least one that we'll be keeping an eye on, for good or ill. This has been an MMO Grinder Sidequest, and it's time I logged out.